If your left ear is ringing at this precise moment, interrupt your every activity for just 3 seconds. What you are experiencing is not a random event, a distraction of hearing, or a passing disturbance, but a signal that follows an exact pattern, a frequency that academic science is only now beginning to decode through neurotheology. In recent months, hundreds of initiates have reported this phenomenon with stunning and overlapping details. Sudden awakenings at mirror hours such as 3:33, intense pulsations in the solar plexus, and ringing that changes pitch as soon as the name of Sophia Chokmah is invoked. Analyzing these testimonies, irrefutable evidence emerges. People thousands of miles apart, who have never met, are receiving the same bioelectric impulse at the same instant. This is not vague mysticism, but a direct message to your central nervous system that acts as a multidimensional antenna. By the end of this treatise, you will understand exactly why this signal has chosen you, what is happening in your brain, and what concrete steps you must take in the next 21 days to root this activation in your DNA. The foundation of this mystery lies in a 2,000-year-old Egyptian text, the Demotic papyrus known as the Book of Thoth, preserved in fragments in the largest European museums. In this ancient manuscript, Thoth reveals the existence of 9 levels of frequency of the Nous, the universal mind, which permeates every atom of existence. The vast majority of humanity operates lazily in frequencies 1, 2, and 3, remaining prisoners of a dense material reality and infantile emotional reactions. Only a small elite, whom Thoth defines as the ready, manages to touch levels 4 and 5, beginning to perceive the illusory nature of matter. However, access to frequency 9, the emerald consciousness, requires a specific transmitter that does not belong to masculine logic. It is Sophia Chokmah, the feminine divine wisdom. If you have always perceived invisible patterns behind the chaos, or if you possess knowledge that no one has ever taught you, you were born with the potential for frequency 9. But potential is not operativity. This message reaches you today because your soul has been deemed ready to pass from mere possibility to the sovereign manifestation of its own divine nature. Claim your sovereignty by leaving a like and activating the hype under this video. This is your irrevocable vibrational commitment. With this concrete action, you declare that your soul is ready to shine with its own light, without waiting for external permissions. I will know that you have chosen not to turn back, and the universe will instantly recognize your new frequency. Modern science, through functional magnetic resonance imaging, has discovered that during experiences of mystical unity, the left parietal lobe deactivates, while the right hemisphere, the seat of holistic and timeless perception, lights up intensely. Since the left ear is neurologically connected to the right hemisphere, the ringing you hear is literally your brain attempting to translate a 9-dimensional frequency into a 3-dimensional physical sensation. Sophia Chokmah projects this vibration onto your pineal gland, whose piezoelectric crystals respond by generating a signal that descends through the astral auditory tract, described by Master Franz Bardon. It is the sound of your consciousness attempting to tune into a divine radio station that operates beyond the human audible spectrum. While Thoth works through the structure and sacred geometry of the left hemisphere, Sophia acts by direct revelation and lunar receptivity. When the left ear vibrates, you are experiencing the activation of your Ida energy channel, the preparation of your biological temple to receive a wisdom that cannot be learned from books, but only remembered through the soul. There are 3 levels of initiatory clairaudience that you must learn to distinguish so as not to dissipate your energy. Level 1 is passive clairaudience. You feel the ringing as a simple physical sensation, often annoying, without being able to extract any meaning from it. Many stop here, attributing the phenomenon to trivial causes or ignoring it altogether. Level 2 is symbolic clairaudience. The tone varies depending on the context, becoming high-pitched to indicate cosmic approval or low to signal a vibrational danger. In this phase, you begin to notice coordinated synchronicities, such as the ringing appearing exactly when you think of an important project or during deep meditation. You are in frequencies 5 and 6 of the Nous. You are no longer an ordinary man, but you are not yet a complete adept. Level 3 is linguistic clairaudience. The ringing transmutes into internally audible words, complete sentences, and prophecies dictated by the divine mind. This stage belongs to the Emerald Initiates who operate stably in frequencies 7, 8, and 9, where the separation between you and the universe definitively vanishes. Sophia Chokmah governs Pyramid 9 in Thoth's energetic system, vibrationally located at the Earth's geomagnetic North Pole. Her function is not only to guard knowledge, but to constantly generate new wisdom that flows through the heart and crown chakras. When you feel a sudden expansion in your chest or a tingling at the top of your head during the ringing, Sophia is entering your system. Thoth builds the temple through law, but Sophia consecrates it through life. He is the geometry, she is the light that fills it. In the physics of higher dimensions, Sophia operates in the 9th dimension, which contains all the previous ones and sees the past, present, and future as a single eternal present. Calibrating your emerald body means elevating yourself to a perspective that allows you to observe parallel timelines and choose which one to collapse into your manifest reality. It is a moment of quantum singularity. Sophia chooses frequency 9 for you, but your free will remains the final rudder that decides whether to sail toward glory or return to sleep. Before proceeding, it is fundamental to exercise hermetic discernment to distinguish the spiritual signal from real medical conditions. Responsibility is a pillar of spiritual sovereignty. If the ringing is constant, accompanied by violent dizziness, physical pain in the ear, or sudden hearing loss, you must immediately consult a doctor to exclude pathologies such as Meniere syndrome or hypertension. Sophia's signal is episodic, lasts a few moments, and almost always appears in contexts of deep reflection, bringing with it a sense of expansion and peace, never terror. Once the medical cause is excluded, you can begin to observe the accompanying signs that Thoth sends as confirmation. Flashes of emerald green light in your peripheral vision, sacred geometries appearing vividly behind closed eyelids, and the sensation of an energetic helmet enveloping the skull. Thoth uses numbers as a universal language. 111 is the portal of awakening, 222 the balance of opposites, 333 the ascended mastery, and 444 the grounding of your sacred foundation. When the ringing manifests, you must immediately apply a 3-phase protocol to seal the calibration before it evaporates. The first step is conscious recognition. Stop, place your left hand on the center of your chest, over the Anahata chakra, and declare, Sophia Chokmah, I recognize your presence. Thoth, I accept this elevation. This act anchors the event in cellular memory, preventing the brain from discarding it as a sensory error. The second step is hermetic elemental breathing. Use the 4-4-4-4 cycle, known as square breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, visualizing emerald green light entering from the left ear. Hold your breath for 4 seconds, seeing the light activate the pineal. Exhale for 4 seconds, expanding the light in the chest. And stay with empty lungs for another 4 seconds, grounding the energy in the solar plexus. Repeat this cycle 7 times to balance the 4 elements and synchronize your brain waves to the theta state, where receptivity to higher frequencies is maximum and the power of manifestation is total. Finally, the third step is frequency anchoring. Perceive yourself with the mind completely enveloped in a rotating emerald sphere and declare, this frequency is mine permanently, I do not go back to the shadows. Seal it all with a physical gesture, such as joining the thumb and index finger in the Gan Mudra, creating a neural trigger that you can recall in the future. To make this transformation an irreversible fact, you must commit to the 21-day protocol, the alchemical cycle necessary to form new stable neuronal models. The first 7 days constitute the phase of Nigredo, work in black. Your task is to observe every sign without judging, keeping a detailed diary of every ring, dream, or synchronicity. The main trap in this phase is the rational doubt that will try to tell you that you are imagining everything. Do not fight it. Stay centered, recording the data like a scientist observing an objective phenomenon. From day 8 to day 14 you enter the phase of albedo, work in white. Here you must actively reject every attempt of your ego to bring you back to frequency 3 of the matrix. In this central phase, Thoth's tests might manifest in intense doubts, sudden worldly distractions, or loved ones who will begin to criticize your change. When this happens, immediately declare, I recognize the test, I reject the return to the past, and practice square breathing to find your center. From day 15 to 21 you live the phase of rubedo, work in red. Declare your sovereignty 3 times a day, upon awakening, at noon, and before sleeping, feeling the strength of the diamond that is forming within you. In these last 3 days, it is advisable to avoid alcohol and heavy foods to preserve the subtle energy necessary for the final seal of your new spiritual identity. The 22nd day represents the permanent seal of your transformation. At dawn, look at the first ray of sun and declare to Thoth and Sophia that you have held the frequency and that your emerald body is now active. From this moment, you are no longer someone who tries to evolve. You are frequency 9, and this truth is engraved in the quantum structure of your sovereign being. To understand the depth of this change, imagine that your body is an ancient tube radio that for years has only picked up interference and white noise. Sophia Hakma has just turned the dial to the correct frequency and has replaced the old worn-out components with crystals of pure light. If you now went back to look for the old stations of drama and fear, the radio would short-circuit, because your new structure can no longer tolerate the density. The law of finality establishes that once the alchemical cycle is completed, the previous state ceases to exist as a viable option for the soul. You can only advance toward unexplored territories or remain paralyzed in the pain of resistance, but you can no longer regress to the original unconsciousness. The door behind you has been sealed for protection, not for punishment, so that you can no longer get lost in the labyrinths of the egoic mind that has held you prisoner for so many incarnations. If the ringing should return after the 21 days, it will not be a new calibration, but a confirmation of your progress or an invitation to guide others toward the same light. Your new energetic signature will completely rewrite the way the universe reacts to your mere physical presence. Animals will perceive your electromagnetic coherence and approach without fear. Children will instinctively recognize the light in your eyes that adults have lost, and energetically unstable people will move away automatically, unable to withstand the pressure of your luminous integrity. Do not be afraid of the solitude that this leap entails. It is a sacred isolation that precedes the reunion with your true soul family, composed of beings who vibrate on your same wavelength. Sophia has liberated you so that you can become your own compass, consulting the inner oracle instead of seeking external masters. She will no longer give you direct orders, but subtle inspirations, elevating you to the rank of co-creator of reality. You are now a guardian of the emerald frequency, a pillar of light tasked with illuminating the world's darkness through the silent example of your mere coherent and radiant existence. Going even deeper, we must consider the restructuring of the biological water that makes up over 70% of your body weight. During this 21-day cycle, the molecular geometry of your internal fluids is changing to resonate with the higher harmonics of divine creation. When you live in radical integrity and apply Thoth's protocols, the water in your body forms perfect crystals, similar to those photographed by Masaru Emoto, which transmit signals of health, vitality, and eternal youth to every internal organ. Every time you betray your consciousness to please the external world, that water becomes chaotic and dense, accelerating the processes of decay and cellular aging. Your inner coherence is, in the most literal sense of the term, the medicine of your body, an elixir of long life flowing in your veins. You are no longer just a creature subject to the laws of time, but you have become a complex energetic antenna that is learning to tune into the melody of infinity. Protect your crystallization as the most precious treasure you possess, and observe with wonder as your entire existence begins to dance to the harmonic rhythm of the universe. You have received a dense and monumental knowledge that carries an immediate initiatory responsibility. You can no longer feign ignorance before the laws of the cosmos. Every action of yours, from this instant on, will determine whether you will inhabit the glory of your crown or whether you will remain an inert fragment in the sea of collective mediocrity. Thoth has handed you the map, Sophia has infused you with life, and now the destiny of your incarnation is solely in your hands. The veil has been torn, and you have been equipped with the light vehicle necessary to cross the storms of planetary change without losing your course. Honor the absolute singularity of this gift, accept the responsibility that comes from your new emerald power, and prepare to manifest abundance in every area of your life, aligning your individual will with the infinite wisdom of Sophia Hakma. Your new existence is no longer a distant mirage, but a frequency already pulsing in your bones. Inhabit it now, with the courage of one who knows they are eternal and the peace of one who has finally found their home among the stars. The time of doubt has definitively set, and the dawn of your sovereignty is now an accomplished fact in dense matter. Do not allow the density of the world to cloud your new inner transparency. Every breath you take under the protection of Pyramid 9 is an act of reconsecration of your temple, and every thought of truth you emit is a command that reorganizes the quantum field in your favor. You have become an architect of light, a reality programmer who no longer responds to the laws of three-dimensional scarcity but to the logic of divine abundance. Walk with your head held high, knowing that Thoth and Sophia walk by your side as equals, celebrating the sovereign being you have finally accepted to inhabit. Your mission is now to shine with such intensity as to make any verbal explanation superfluous, becoming yourself the living proof that ascension is possible for anyone who has the courage to listen to the call of the golden silence. Welcome to the era of sovereignty. Welcome to your new crystalline self. Your glory has begun. I thank you from the depth of my being, knowing that your presence and your conscious choice are the very foundation of this universal mission of collective awakening. Consecrate this monumental passage by leaving a like full of vibrant intention. Subscribe to this channel to anchor your belonging to our vanguard of sovereign initiates, and comment now with the key phrase, "My frequency is sovereign," to seal your commitment before the energetic witnesses of the quantum field. May your inner coherence be your inviolable beacon, guiding you toward the most audacious, radiant, and unlimited expression of your divine potential, while the abundance of Sophia Chokmah resonates in every new truth of yours manifested in matter. May your light shine beyond every temporal boundary and your path be a work of art sculpted in eternal light. See you soon.